Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Not by a person, but by an object. Something inanimate that shouldn't have eyes, shouldn't have a soul, but you can just feel it staring at you. That's the exact feeling I got the moment we moved into our new house. It was an old Victorian, a real fixer-upper, as the agent cheerfully called it. We were a young optimistic, and frankly, a bit naive. The price was a steal, and we were blinded by the high ceilings and ornate woodwork. The previous owner had left behind a lot of furniture, including a massive, imposing oil portrait in the dining room. It was a painting of a stern-looking man from what looked like the late 1800s. He had a severe face, a neatly trimmed beard, and eyes that seemed to follow you. My partner, Alex, thought it was distinguished. I thought it was creepy. He looks like he just sucked on a lemon, I joked, trying to shake off the unease. But the feeling lingered. Every time I walked through the dining room, I felt his gaze on the back of my neck. We decided to host our first dinner party a few weeks after moving in. A housewarming to show off our new, slightly dilapidated pride and joy. We invited our closest friends, Sarah and Ben. The evening started wonderfully. We had wine, good food, and the house was filled with laughter for the first time. We were all seated around the dining table, directly under the watchful eye of the man in the portrait. I was in the middle of telling a particularly funny story from my college days when Sarah suddenly stopped laughing. Her eyes were wide, fixed on something over my shoulder. "Did you guys see that?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. We all turned to look where she was staring. At the portrait, the man looked exactly the same. Stern, unblinking, judgmental. "See what?" Ben asked, taking a sip of his wine. Sarah shook her head, a nervous laugh escaping her. I must be seeing things. For a second, I could have sworn. I thought he blinked. A chill went down my spine, but Alex quickly diffused the tension. "Must be the wine, Sarah. Or maybe our resident ghost is just saying hello." We all laughed, but it was a little strained this time. The mood had shifted. Who's slightly? We tried to get the conversation flowing again, but the seed of unease had been planted. I couldn't help but keep glancing up at the painting, and that's when I saw it. I was telling a joke, and as the punchline landed, everyone at the table erupted in laughter. For a split second, I swear I saw the corners of the man's mouth twitch upwards into the faintest, most unsettling smirk. I froze, my own laughter dying in my throat. I looked at Alex, whose face had gone pale. He'd seen it too. "No," he mouthed silently, his eyes wide with disbelief. The rest of the dinner was awkward. Every time someone smiled, the man in the portrait seemed to smirk. When Ben started talking about a sad movie he'd seen, a shadow of melancholy seemed to cross the man's painted features. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, like a trick of the light. But we knew. Alex and I knew. After our friends left, the house felt unnervingly quiet. The silence was thick, broken only by the ticking of an old grandfather clock in the hall. We stood in the dining room, staring up at the portrait. The man's expression was back to its original stern glare, as if nothing had happened. "We're just tired," Alex said, trying to convince both of us. "It's an old house. The lighting is weird. Our minds are playing tricks on us." I wanted to believe him. I really did, but the image of that smirk was burned into my memory. The next evening, we decided to test our theory. We sat down for dinner alone, the silence amplifying every creak of the old house. I forced a smile. "Having a lovely time," I said, my voice unnaturally high. I looked up. Nothing. The man's face remained a mask of stony disapproval. Then, Alex and I got into a small argument. It was something silly, about who was supposed to take out the trash, but the stress of the house, the portrait, it all bubbled up. Our voices got louder, more heated. In the middle of our bickering, I risked a glance at the painting. My blood ran cold. The man's expression had changed dramatically. His brow was furrowed in anger, his lips pressed into a thin, tight line. He looked furious. It wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't our imagination. He was mirroring our anger, feeding off it. "Alex, look," I whispered, my own anger instantly forgotten, replaced by pure terror. He turned, and the color drained from his face. We stood there, frozen, staring at the enraged face of a man who should have been nothing but oil and canvas. That was it. We couldn't stay there another night. We grabbed a blanket and threw it over the portrait, not wanting to see its expression change again. We didn't even pack. We just got in our car and drove to a hotel. The next day, we hired movers to get our things and put the house back on the market. We told the real estate agent we were being relocated for work. What else could we say? That the house came with a paranormal art critic who judges your dinner conversations. We never went back inside. We even told the movers to leave the dining room furniture, especially the portrait. I didn't want that thing anywhere near me ever again. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that house. I wonder who lives there now. I wonder if they've hosted a dinner party. I wonder if they've noticed the man in the portrait. Watching Tim, his expressions shifting with their every emotion. It's a terrifying thought that some objects aren't just objects. Some things hold echoes of the past, and some are still listening. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me through that creepy tale. If you have any similar spooky experiences, I'd love to read them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more strange stories. Stay safe out there, and maybe, just maybe, take a second look at the paintings on your walls.